Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Love Alchemy, the place for divine love transformation. And I'm your host, Tamara Hansen, love alchemist, Reiki master, and meditation instructor. So it's been a hot minute since I was last here, and I've been working on a few things, specifically my book, Love Alchemy, The Sacred Journey to Self-Love. This book has been a labor of love for me, no pun intended. I will be publishing this book very soon as I reach the final editing stages, and my goal is to have it published by the spring. So just watch for that. I know this has been basically has taken me 7 years to write this book, and I am certainly a different person than who I was back then when I first started the book. And my intention when I first started doing this, helping people with self-love, transforming themselves, actually it started out as how to help others in their relationships, because I was looking around me and seeing that people were kind of just having a mediocre relationship. And then I realized that people were having a mediocre relationship with themselves. And that's where this all kind of, how this all came about, writing this self-love book, because we need to find that love within first to build a strong foundation in our other relationships. So on that note, just kind of keep your eye open for this self-love book, for what is going to happen in the very near future with regards to this book. So now, other things that I want to touch on before we begin with our topic for today. I have online, on-demand workshops on self-love, meditation, and everything in between. These workshops assist in discovering true love within. Self-love isn't about bubble baths or massages. It is about consistent nurturing and nourishment and caring for yourself. So these workshops will help to basically create a strong foundation of self-love, create a strong foundation of understanding who you are, and that is through self-reflection, through meditation, through really understanding yourself and understanding that yourself at the very core of this, that we are more than these physical bodies, so much more. So today's topic, self-love, redefining Valentine's Day. So if you are without a significant other this Valentine's, missing out on some romance, or maybe wanting someone to choose you and maybe you're being treated like an option, today we are redefining how to look at Valentine's Day, how to bring it back around to loving the self. To start, let's first dive in to Valentine's Day from a historical perspective. So, Valentine's Day, how did this all come about in morph into a romantic holiday that is surrounded by copious amounts of chocolates and flowers, lingerie, and engagements? So actually, Valentine's Day stems from, according to ancients, to other sources, that Valentine's Day actually kind of began with numerous people or men who were called Saint Valentine, who were killed or who died on February 14th. and 2 of them were executed during the reign of the Roman Emperor Claudius Gothicus in 269 to 270 AD. This is when a period of time when Christians were persecuted, and this was a very common thing. There are also stories of Saint Valentine performing marriages or passing notes between lovers who were jailed by this Emperor Gothicus. However, according to some historians, Chaucer may have spurned the Valentine's Day tradition in one of his books, as he decreed the February feast of Saint Valentinus to the mating of birds, as he wrote in Parliament of Fools. But if you've been following me for a while, you know I speak on self-love and the importance of loving yourself first. I've said before that we must build a strong foundation of self-love so that we can have this strong basis in our relationships with others. Self-love is at the heart of healthy relationships. And we're not just talking about relationships with others, but also the relationship with yourself, which is undoubtedly the most important relationship that you will ever have in your entire life, because the relationship that you have with yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you treat yourself, how you care about yourself, that is the most important thing. Because if you are treating yourself like crap, if you do not have a strong foundation of love for yourself, if you basically just have an inner dialogue of negativity, or maybe have very loose boundaries, or you don't necessarily think highly of yourself or think of yourself as a loving person or someone who can be loved, all of those things. It doesn't matter what level or degree, because we all have certain levels of how we feel about ourselves, what we think about ourselves, if we love ourselves, if we treat ourselves with respect. But if you don't have that, if you don't have that strong relationship with yourself, then the other relationships around you won't be as strong either. So loving ourselves, and that includes all the lumps and bumps and all the things that we did that we are embarrassed about or unhappy about, the perceived failures when we tried for something or anything that didn't work. Maybe we were told we weren't lovable, or maybe we have closed our hearts so much that we have grown numb, grown accustomed to blocking out love, whether it is our own love or from someone else. The point is that when we grow in love for ourselves, when we can look at ourselves a little bit differently, maybe even play with the idea of loving ourselves, things can change. Our perception changes, our heart begins to open a little bit more. So when we are sitting here on Valentine's Day, thinking about the lack of a lover, lack of romance, lack of flowers or chocolates, maybe the strained relationship that we have, maybe the lack of love in our current relationship, we all are already in a state of not feeling love for ourselves. And no amount of love from another will make you love yourself if you cannot see the love within you first. So this is imperative that we begin to create that strong, loving foundation within us. Because if you are looking around you and if you are seeing lack, If you are seeing things that are missing, if you are seeing the strain in a relationship, we are all mirrors of each other, and we create our lives either by default or deliberately. So if we are viewing lack around us, what is happening within us that we need to address, that we are not giving ourselves, or that we aren't nourishing ourselves, nurturing ourselves? Where is it that we are maybe pushing love, abundance, whatever it is, pushing that away, anything good, because maybe we don't feel like we deserve it, that we are good enough. So they say that you can't love another until you love yourself. And I know that people kind of get a little excited by this quote because I think it's been a little bit skewed over time. So maybe you might be thinking, what do you mean I can't love another? I love people in my life. I love my parents. I love my children. I love my spouse. I love my friends. What this quote is really about is when we unconditionally love someone, then this is true love. We can love them for all of their faults. Even if they leave us, we can still love them. But not the attached love, but love of seeing their soul, their divine selves. That is true love. When there's an attachment to the love, then it's conditional. It's based on conditions. Because if you have a falling out with that person, or there might be an issue, or whatever it is, then we can put up that wall, that barrier, and choose not to be loving towards them. Now, this isn't to say that we should put up with bad behavior or abusive behavior, anything like that. That's where the love of ourselves comes in, where we can walk away from something because we love ourselves enough to treat ourselves with respect and love and care, and know when something isn't quite right, and know when we need to be treated better. Like I said, we can love people, but that love can be conditional. As once, when things go awry, we can easily kind of turn that around and hate on them. Actually, what we're doing is not really hating them, but we're hating their behavior. We're hating their treatment of us. We're hating or disliking how they act. When we truly love ourselves for who we are and accepting ourselves, no attachment to anything, but seeing things through the eyes of love, that is what is meant by self-love. A lover leaves, a friend ends your friendship, a family member is unloving. When we love ourselves wholly, those things, while sad, disappointing, or hurtful, can be viewed from a different perspective. Building this strong foundation of love for ourselves means immediately nurturing and nourishing ourselves when we aren't receiving love from another, or when another betrays us or hurts us. We can step away without begging, hating, or trying to ruin their lives. We can stay in our own peace and in our own love. So I know I've experienced this numerous times, and I'm sure I've done the same to other people, to friends, to family. Maybe I've hurt them or betrayed them. I've had friends and friendships, but I can still love them and wish them the best. Even though I may not know why, or why they perhaps acted the way they did, but I can wish them love and wish them well. So we can see things from a larger viewpoint. You aren't making the behavior okay, but you're showing up for yourself. You are holding space for yourself and you're healing when you are able to just send love because you've built your own strong foundation of love. So when something doesn't work out, when we can step back and take a look at the bigger picture and see that person as divine, because we also see ourselves as divine. We see ourselves as love. So when we are faced with situations that are less than loving or are confusing, anything toxic or unhealthy, then we get to choose ourselves each and every time. So that means you get to choose to love yourself. You get to choose to treat yourself with respect and care every single time, no matter what somebody else is doing or what someone else has said, how someone else treated you. This is about you and knowing that you are love, holding that healing space for yourself, respecting yourself every single time. Loving yourself is standing in your own power. This is self-empowerment. Amit Ray said, "There is a God part in you, the consciousness, the pure self. Learn to listen to the voice of that power." So within you is that divinity. And we've kind of lost touch with really understanding our own divine selves, with treating ourselves as that sacred being. And we kind of have to get back to that again. Get back into really tapping into that and understanding what that looks like, what that is, what that feels like. So you know how a garden hose can get tangled and all kind of kinked up, which stops the water from flowing. This is our connection to our divine selves. We have kinked the hose, stopping the flow of divine love and divine light. This kink in the hose is beliefs that we have about ourselves and about love. And it can be how others treat us. It can be about what others have said to us. And this all stops the flow of love. This kinks the hose. Because now we are hung up on what the ego is saying and what the mind is saying. So when somebody talks to us or says something to us or treats us poorly, or maybe we treat someone poorly, it's because we put a kink in the hose and we aren't allowing that free flow of love, because on some level we believe that if we show love, if we express love, then we are making ourselves vulnerable to others, vulnerable to pain, to hurt, to opening ourselves up, and with the potential of either not receiving it back or someone disappointing us or hurting us or mistreating us. And then we get mad at ourselves for opening our hearts up and thinking that we were stupid for doing so and we should have known better. And I know you've all kind of felt this or been through that before. And then we build up that wall around our hearts, not wanting to be fooled again or to be hurt again, to be betrayed or saddened or disappointed. But when we are loving on ourselves, so much and creating that foundation so deeply within us, then situations like that, when they do come up, it doesn't matter that we've expressed love to another, given love, shown love to another, because we are standing strong in our own foundation of love. We are standing strong in understanding who we truly are. And nobody can rock that foundation when our self-love foundation is strong. But if you could consistently and irrevocably believe that you are love and are deserving love, you will always stand in your power. So let's bring this back around. As much as Valentine's Day will always be as advertised as a romantic day for chocolate eating and lingerie wearing lovers, the point is that if we don't love ourselves, no amount of chocolate or lingerie will enhance or fix a relationship or will make us feel safe or loved. So, to end this podcast, we will do a little meditation. I will be reading an excerpt from Ram Dass's book, Be Love Now. And if you're listening to this podcast while driving or operating heavy machinery or where you need full attention on something, then come back to this meditation at another time when you are able to be comfortable, focused, and able to close your eyes. And for the rest of you who are able to do this meditation right now, get into a comfortable position. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out. And take another deep breath in through the nose and sigh it out. Make sure that you are comfortable and warm or cool enough. Adjust your clothing, adjust your position, and just allow your breath to flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Just long, deep breaths. Just allowing your body to relax, all your muscles, all your body parts, your organs, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. Everything is just relaxing and melting into wherever you are sitting or lying down. And you just continue to breathe. And with every breath, you flow deeper and deeper into your body, relaxing, nourishing yourself with the breath, giving yourself this moment, this loving, healing moment. And just continue to breathe. Imagine feeling more love from someone than you have ever known. You're being loved even more than your mother loved you when you were an infant, more than you were ever loved by your father, your child or your most intimate lover, anyone. This lover doesn't need anything from you, isn't looking for personal gratification, and only wants your complete fulfillment. You are loved just for being who you are, just for existing. You don't have to do anything to earn it. Your shortcomings, your lack of self-esteem, physical perfection, or social and economic success, none of that matters. No one can take this love away from you, and it will always be there. Imagine that being in this love is like relaxing endlessly into a warm bath that surrounds and supports your every movement, so that every thought and feeling is permeated by it. You feel as though you are dissolving into love. This love is actually part of you. It is always flowing through you. It's like the subatomic texture of the universe, the dark matter that connects everything. When you tune in to that flow, you will feel it in your own heart. Not your physical heart or your emotional heart, but your spiritual heart. The place you point to in your chest when you say, I am. This is your deeper heart, your intuitive heart. It is the place where the higher mind, pure awareness, the subtler emotions, and your soul identity all come together, and you connect to the universe where presence and love are. Unconditional love really exists in each of us. It is part of our deep inner being. It is not so much an active emotion as a state of being. It's not, I love you for this or that reason, not, I love you if you love me. It's love for no reason, without an object. It's just sitting in love, a love that incorporates the chair and the room and permeates everything around. The thinking mind is extinguished in love. If I go into the place in myself that is love, and you go into the place in yourself that is love, we are together in love. Then you and I are truly in love, a state of being love. That's the entrance to oneness. Now you can stay here as long as you like, just basking in this beautiful feeling of love and light. Take the time to nourish yourself. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.